Season 6. I'm so excited. We had season 6.
Oh yeah, Sam walked around half the season, soulless, and was inconsistently written.
Exactly, and my two favorite people came back as regulars in the season, Lisa and Ben.
Yeah, and for some reason, Mary Winchester's family got brought back from the dead, but not her, of course. Just her father and some random cousins
that we never seen before.
And
because we really didn't want to see Mary again.
No.
Someone we actually
that would
somewhat
only be
liked.
awesome.
Yeah, no, we got the dad.
No, we get to see Skinner walk around for half a season.
We wanted to really drill home how much their family sucks and no one loves them.
And how weird and incesty the grandpa comes off.
Because this is, what we wanted to see in season 6.
And then there's the mother of all and the Alphas, and that totally went somewhere.
Yeah, and that wasn't so anticlimactic and had everything to do with the finale like they set it up to. And Sam got a wall in his head because he got let out of hell.
Oh, yeah.
Mid-season.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was all very, very dramatic.
Don't scratch it.
Oh, no, don't pick at the wall. What we're saying is why?
What the hell?
God, Sarah Gamble!
Did they literally have to take the most beloved character other than the Winchesters and really screw us?
Yes, because according to some people, he is a threat to Sam and Dean. They'll say he's not because they'll be like, God, Dean never liked Cass. It's so obvious. Cass is such a loser. He hates him. And yet they're obviously so afraid of the threat he poses to Sam and Dean. Which, by the way, he doesn't. That threat is non-existent.
I know. Nothing can separate Dean from Sam.
No,
Dean and Sam. Nothing. That's been proved. That's also why I hate the episodes where they're apart. It's stupid and ridiculous and pointless and boring as but whatever. But whatever. No. They ruined Cass. They took Cass away from me. And her. And I don't appreciate it.
Nor do I.
I blame it all on Sarah Gamble, who
I.
in her stupid, two-dimensional, non-imaginative way didn't think the character could really continue and help the show.
She apparently went to the Russell T Davies School of Writing, where the only way to create drama is to kill. Drama can exist no other way. Especially if we ignore that character's existence after they die. Another Russell T Davies trait. Unless your name is Rose Tyler.
Exactly. And there's been references to freaking Doctor Who on the show.
So I bet it's true. I bet she was
slightly wondering. Exactly. But can I take a moment to think
by all means.
I am not yet into the movie/television career. I'm just an avid Supernatural follower. And when she said there's nothing else we can do with the character to really bring the show, this is my idea for the season 7 where Cass becomes human. He doesn't have his grace. This is just an idea. This is just free thinking. He doesn't have his grace. He's human. He's made some bad decisions. And season 7 is about his redemption and him coming to terms with who he is and his beliefs and his own feelings. Wow. And he's human, so he, learns how to hunt. And
he has to learn to live without that power that he has.
And he has to defend himself and help
family.
And help Sam and Dean in different ways.
That would have been great. Even my scenario didn't really involve all of that, that would be the ideal, but I'm like, if you must get rid of him, why not have him, send himself into exile because he's so ashamed, then pop back up at the end, redeem himself, get his grace back, and then go back to heaven, and then that'd be the end of it, I'm not saying I want it to be the Castiel show, but my God, he deserves more respect than what he got.
He was a favorite. There's not too many of us out there that don't like him. And even then, sometimes you deal with things you don't like.
Yeah, because even for the people who don't like him, let's look at him versus all the other, barring Bobby, recurring characters on that show. How long did they last? Not long. I feel like the road trip angle, getting away from Cass for a second, the road trip angle of the show was really missing from season 6. You know? It felt like they pretty much just lived at Bobby's. You know what I mean? And they were almost always at Bobby's.
This season was so Sam Central and so weird and had so many picked up plot lines and so many dropped plot lines. It was crazy.
The first half of the season
it is seriously the weakest season we have.
Because barring Soulless Sam, nothing matters. You know what I mean? I think I've heard rumors that even Jensen went to Sarah Gamble and was like, this isn't working, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, the second half pulled itself together better because you finally get a sense of what's going on with Cass, who had this vague storyline until the last few episodes, you know? And then Sam got his soul back, so at least, and I've got my issues with Sam, believe me, but I would much rather him be there than Robo-Sam, you know?
Okay, we're going for the Soulless Sam thing. But then there was too many issues with it. There was like, okay, if he's soulless, then why does he care if he gets his soul back? Why does he?
Yeah, I don't.
Why does he
really
care about getting Dean's approval?
Yeah,
why is he?
Should mean like no feelings, I guess, but he clearly
and
did.
Kind of dead inside, yes, and he clearly and then at some point he borderline on mean, and that's kind of having a soul.
Yeah, he should have been completely and utterly pragmatic, you know. Completely, like a robot.
Exactly, because he is still human. He's not a demon, and that's a different thing.
Yeah, he's not evil.
And
he just doesn't feel.
Exactly, because I think some people are like, it was such a heavy, strong storyline, and they never took an exact standpoint on what it meant to not have a soul.
Yeah, like at one point,
I don't want to get too philosophical. Yeah,
he doesn't. If you don't have a soul, you don't need to sleep.
And that's not.
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly, because a soul has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So it had too many problems, and then they're like, oh, I'm going to build up a wall, you know, because they needed to bring him back, which us got to see death again, which is always nice to see. But, even then, it was rushed. That whole wall thing was rushed. To the season finale, was it rushed? Cass took down his wall because he was going through his stuff. He was working on himself. And, then Sam was in his head, but then that was rushed, and it was dealt with him melding all of the Sams together and killing the bad parts, and it was just really weird and just so thrown aside and rushed. And then
all leading up to yet another season of round 7 of What's Wrong with Sam.
Exactly. But not to mention the Sam storyline they wanted to deal with in the first half. I guess Sarah Gam was like, what? I gave Dean a storyline, him and Lisa. It wasn't really dealt with. Again, it was just pushed aside, but it was given importance. And then we had the Eve, the mother of all things, like the monsters. Nothing to do with angel and demons. It was ridiculous to take off. Rushed. And then the more complex story, the plot, which didn't really get a lot of attention, was Castiel's storyline. See, are you getting confused yet? Is your head hurting yet? Or you just remembered how annoyed you were when you were watching it? No, but you did give us an awesome episode, The Man Who Would Be King.
That was an awesome episode.
It was amazing and one of my favorite episodes ever.
Oh God, it hurt.
And which led to a weird finale, the weirdest finale ever. It had two different finales. It was aired in a 2-hour.
Let It Be and The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Yes, and the second finale I feel was the true finale. Not being just because Eric Kripke wrote it. And Let It Be was just pointless. It was resolving the Lisa and Ben stuff.
Which should have been resolved already, because they had resolved it at least 2 times before already. But I guess it wasn't sad enough.
And nobody cared. But in the nature of Sarah Gamble's way, she had to make sure she stepped on us and beat us to a bloody pulp. And then as we were twitching and gasping for air, she said, oh, hells no, and shot us again.
Yeah, see, I'm sorry. When my favorite character, Castiel, his future is in jeopardy, his relationship with Dean is all but destroyed, I really couldn't give a crap about Lisa Braden and her little kid, you know?
Exactly.
I really couldn't. So when half the finale focused on them and how Dean felt about them, I'm like, oh my God, haven't we dealt with this enough? I don't care. Make them go away.
Dean was being not receptive to Castiel's wishes. We got a marriage counsel, relationship counsel this. Dean wasn't being receptive to Castiel's needs and wants. And Castiel just wanted to communicate emotions here wanted a little help.
Castiel's just Dean's attack dog, and he wasn't attacking, so apparently screw him.
And they were having some issues. I just don't understand this, because So, I will give Dean this. Castiel kept saying, you know, you need to listen to me, you need to listen to me, and he was kind of feeling like this Sam thing in season 5, I guess, to Dean. Like, no, you're just not listening to what everybody else is saying. But then in, like, Let It Be...
I can understand
exactly. That. But in Let It Be, I mean, I kind of just showed the difference between the Sam. You know, and when Sam was being evil, Sam was being very, I will beat you up if you don't listen to me. I will do this. You will listen to me. Castiel was being still very helpful. But he was still saying on the side, I need you to understand what has to be done here. I don't think you understand the importance. And then in Let It Be, he saves Lisa and Ben. He gives them the better life, and yet still Dean does not listen.
And
I just feel this shows like the difference and how Castiel was right.
It was different.
And then, but no, I just have to say, and then Dean goes down to the car, and you know, usually who bows down to Sam and everything. You know, Sam says something, and then Dean, out of nowhere, it's just like, it says, if you ever mention them again, I'll punch you in your face. Like, out of nowhere is just rude to Sam.
I know.
No need to. I mean,
know, and I'm normally all for people being rude to Sam, but that was out of line.
I want to do something to you, but
I
want
to
keep
the
ratings on this
down.
down.
I said that was out of line.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway.
I just want to say about the Castiel situation, what irritated me is what Castiel was fighting for was a legitimate threat. You know? Raphael was going to restart the apocalypse. Castiel was trying to prevent that. Yet when he said that, it's like they didn't hear him. You know? All they heard was, oh God, working with Crowley, woe is me! This is the ultimate betrayal. No one has ever betrayed me like this. Get out of my sight! You know? But I'm like, I don't think they ever once acknowledged that Raphael was going to restart the apocalypse, you know? And he told them he was going to. That's what bugs me.
I think the show wanted us to take Sam and Dean's side.
Oh, they absolutely
did. But this is another thing. Castiel was fighting what we were fighting in season 5. And in season 5, they were willing to do anything to make sure the apocalypse didn't happen. But in season 6, when Castiel was doing the same thing, they were just totally, like, not treating it like as big of a threat. And I was thinking, you know, I was on Castiel's side the entire time. And maybe someone out there can explain to me Sam and Dean's side. And I mean, even Sam was like, maybe we should trust him. And then they were like, you silly fool. You infant. Why would you ever trust Castiel?
Yeah, because I feel, and honestly, I feel that's like the one true time they let Sam learn from his mistakes, you know, because I've said before, I feel like he was basically given a pass, and he took it, because he didn't feel like it was really his fault. But when he was standing up for Castiel, I felt like that was really him knowing, I've screwed up a lot too, and people had given me another chance, so he deserves one. That's what I felt, and I really appreciated that coming from him.
And we also got a new character, Balthazar, another angel, the last angel we'll probably ever see, who is now dead. Like I said, all the angels are dead. He gets introduced. He's more of the fun, I see, you know, right and wrong with the gray area kind of guy.
He's a little like Gabriel. Not totally, but that's the one he reminds you of the most.
I guess he's more like Gabriel, but I don't know. But it's so different in so many ways. And maybe that's the way the actors played it, because it's played by Sebastian Roche,
I think.
Roche?
There's that little accent on it.
Yeah. Roche, he's a hoot. And, you know, his take on Balthazar was good. I actually did enjoy Balthazar.
Oh, I did too. I was upset when Cass killed him.
I know,
I
was
one thing he did that I was like, oh, why'd you do that?
Exactly. And I think that was one part where I thought, oh, maybe that's something, you know, you need to redeem yourself for later.
But then it's never
with that situation, because this character was actually believed in Cass. But I think Cass felt so alone at the end. I'm getting very psychological about Castiel's trip this season. But he felt so alone at the end, he didn't think he had anyone on his side. But yeah, we get Balthazar.